Yes,
no, that's disrespectful though.
I asked her to step away from my son.
Sit with her. What? Because this one is crazy.
No, it's not. When you just told her to go back to the country,
on your hand?
how does that make sense?
Mama.
She does.
Why is she so mad at me?
That's a problem. But just told her.
No, she's not. You just told her to go back to her country. What are you talking about?
Because she's coming for us like a handcuff, whatever that thing is. And
Yo,
going and telling
hey,
everyone
you don't
else
gotta
to
talk
do.
like that though.
She's not telling you.
I know
She
you
didn't tell you anything. She just said stay away from her son. That's all she said.
She's asking you to give her son. Her son doesn't even have a mask.
Well, you know what? You're not telling anybody else, so get over yourself.
There's more. There's more. This one actually has a pretty good ending. Now, in this viral TikTok video, a Muslim woman captures a Karen who criticized her hijab while in line. This was at a Santa Monica grocery store. The Karen also refused to keep 6 feet away from the woman's son, okay, from her son. According to the TikToker, this all began when Karen had asked if she was in line and rolled her eyes at the TikToker. Karen then allegedly attempted to place her items on the conveyor belt despite being behind the TikToker in line. That's one thing you don't want to do. Now, here's where employees joined by customers backing up the Muslim woman who is being criticized by this Karen.
No, the whole point is that you have to be 6 feet away, and then you want to be racist.
Stop. You're just being crazy.
No, we're not.
No, you're being the crazy one right here.
Don't talk to her like that. Yeah, don't be talking to her like that.
You know what? You go get over yourself.
Yeah, don't be talking to her like that.
Excuse me, can I ask you why you hate me?
I don't care.
Just because I'm wearing a headscarf?
That's what you wanted, huh?
What else do I need to do? I mean, what? I'm not doing anything wrong here.
No, I'm actually.
I'm not doing anything wrong here. It's just a family listener who thinks she's privileged.
Talk to her like that though.
I don't know why you hate me. I didn't do anything.
Don't talk to females like that.
I'm trying to protect the female.
No, he's defending what's right. But do you hear what she's saying? She's being racist. She's being racist.
I'm not gonna say anything.
You're basically profiling them. You're basically profiling.
So what we gonna do is we're gonna ask you to leave.
Thank you.
The woman was very emotional. She was distraught. I'm talking about the victim here. But it does have a good ending. And here's what happened. At the end of that, not only did employees step up, customers stepped up. She was walked to her car by a couple. Her and her son were walked to their car to make sure they were safe. Once again, the common default of all these Karens: go back to where you came from. Go back to your country, criticizing their cultural expression that may be different than theirs. Why? Because she could not put this woman in her place. That's what it all comes back to. You're not doing what I tell you to do. How dare you make any comment to me about me, period. That's what this is. Big ups to the black female who started the whole let's protect this woman movement. The black female who was just walking by, she was minding her own business, and she heard this Karen going off on this woman in front of her son, and she says, "Don't you talk to that woman like that?" And the way she said it, I'll be honest with you, it kind of reminded me of my auntie. The way she said it, she said, "Don't you talk to that woman like that?" See, the reason why that's important in this narrative, it usually only takes one person to say something like that, which is the spark. And other people, their light is able to shine as well. And what you saw, ladies and gentlemen, was a woman full of darkness surrounded by people who were full of light. And I would dare to say that many times that's the reality. You are literally around a lot of people who are full of light, but are they willing to let that light shine, to let that morality, that ethics shine in that moment? Adrienne, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, you definitely kind of swung in and made the observation that I was going to hit on. The fact is that it's a Black woman who steps up, who regulates the behavior and says this is unacceptable and sticks her neck out. And that's often the case I've seen in public interactions, that it is a Black woman who comes forward and is the first person to say, no, this is unacceptable, leave that person alone, to stand up, to defend. But then of course it makes me wonder, if the roles were flipped, if this woman, this TikToker were Black, who would step up, who would speak up? And so I think we need more people to come forward and to be using their voices, because it can't always fall on Black women. And at the same time, as a Black woman, we're often left out in the cold when it comes to needing people to defend us. And so I just think it's a very powerful thing. And I'm really, really glad that this happened in terms of these people rallying and stepping up, but we need that more consistently across the board.
One of the things we notice routinely with the Karens across this country is that their entitlement isn't just entitlement, all right? If it was just entitlement, if they were just being brats, maybe they don't make the I wish a Karen would segment. But they always go to a racist default. Go back to your country. They have to criticize their culture or their religion of faith, criticize them for their race. Why do you think this is the default setting of these Karens in the middle of conflict?
The xenophobia, racism, that intersection with sexism. It's a very just common thing of creating that us them narrative. It's something that people can reinforce, because oftentimes people they'll shy away sometimes from saying something as overtly racist as the N-word or other racist tropes. But what they'll like to go to is creating this whole nationalistic us them narrative of pushing go somewhere else, go back from where you came from, because it feels a little more acceptable than going straight for some kind of racist epithet.
Yeah, very well said.